great state of Illinois. The normally occurring on Friday night sport occurs on a Saturday mid-afternoon. Bob Vilsaway to my right. I'm Lukas Moore. We've got Liam on the camera to my left, who I've forgotten his last name, Bob. So we'll say
Liam Crotty. Yeah, we like Liam a lot. He actually does the play-by-play now for our volleyball team at Harper College. So we like hearing his voice. But this time he's on videography for us today.
Well, Bob, I heard you giving the in and outs of volleyball earlier. Today you'll be giving the in and outs of the great sport of football. And these two teams, we have the St. Patrick Shamrocks coming in at 0-1, battling Glenbrook North Spartans coming in at 1-0. Now remember, in the state of Illinois, the last football season was not a year ago. It was in the spring of 2021 for obvious reasons that we're all aware of. So it's kind of one of the most unique high school football seasons in the country, what we're seeing in Illinois, Bob, because of the different circumstances that all these teams are coming out of.
Well, and it happens in a lot of sports where you can actually win whatever championship you were allowed to win in the spring. And now you can win it again in the same calendar year, but you have a state championship now for that. No state championships last spring.
Well, I mean, and everything on the line, it's back to normal. It becomes this type of thing where, hey, it's normal again. It's almost like it was the COVID year and these certain schools maybe not playing or playing a shortened schedule. And really a big team that was affected by that was this St. Patrick squad. A sophomore-led squad 2 years ago. They went 8-1, but they had a losing record this spring. They feel like they had their upward ascension interrupted as we see them make their way out of the field here at their home field at Triton College. We saw their upward momentum kind of interrupted, Bob. They felt like they were going to go sophomore, junior, senior, build up. You have the weird seasons and you have an off year. Now you're trying to take that 8-1 sophomore team. Now they're a bunch of seniors and you feel like you can really press for some success this year.
Boy, you are so right. And I feel like the people that really got messed up by all of this is the high school seniors that didn't get to play their entire year. So you play the sport, whatever your sport is, ever since you're in a cradle, right? Then you get into high school and you're freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and all of a sudden you're ready to get the center stage your senior year, and the year gets cut short. You can't play. The college students, at least those were given their year of eligibility back. So if you're at a 4-year school, you can play 5. If you're at a 2-year school, you can play 3. So you didn't really, I mean, it's not what you wanted. You didn't really lose anything. You know, the Olympics come in a year later. Well, it didn't happen when you wanted it to, but it's a year later. But here in high school, you just flat out lose that year. So St. Patrick is not alone on that ascension that the COVID thing interrupted.
Well, it not only makes it a more sad situation for the seniors that maybe had it changed or morphed, it also adds what we call perspective and a level of maturity that we probably have never seen amongst groups of high school seniors, because it's the first group of high school seniors this year that understands that this is not guaranteed. That this thing we do on Fridays and Saturdays, it's not promised. It wasn't here from the start of time. It was something that society developed and worked for, and it's something that can be taken away. And I think that whenever I talk to a high school senior this year, I've noticed there's a lot more maturity and brevity about them because they understand how special this opportunity is.
Yeah, very, very interesting. You know, as an adult, this is the first year that I ever thought something wasn't going to happen every year, like a sports season. I remember when I was a kid, you know, if the Cubs didn't win that year, they were never going to win. But, of course, since then, they've had many more years to win, so no one year mattered that much.
We'll go ahead and set the headsets down for the Star Spangled Banner. Boy, is that student section rambunctious. You could hear them be behind a whole line for about half the anthem and then give up on it and just get excited for the back half. But we love seeing the student section, even though it's not a technical on-campus field, very much a home field advantage for St. Patrick in today's game.
Absolutely is. The stadium here at Triton is not real large, right? So the students take up a large portion of it. Almost, well, not every seat is taken, but the stands are absolutely full, at least on this side. Now on the far side, the stands are only partially taken, and there's a couple lower stands that are empty over there. So there is capacity here for more people, but it's going to be loud and raucous. And of course, at these stands, you start jumping up and down and making noise. It's going to be loud. Of course, we're right by the speakers to the PA system, too, in the background, so it's hard to hear for us, and it's going to be a fun day today of football. A little bit overcast.
Yeah, and it's honestly, it's starting to clear up even. We see a little bit of blue peeking through the gray skies as we thought this might be the type of game where rain affected it. That's at least what I thought driving up from the city. But
yeah, I didn't think we were going to see rain, actually, but it's a little overcast anyway, which makes it nice, like weeding in the yard before the game today. I could actually do it without sweating too much.
Well, last night was the first high school game I didn't sweat through.
Yeah.
So we won't be sweating through this one, Bob, unless it gets real exciting and the tension really kicks up there. St. Patrick will be kicking the football away to begin this game. Their quarterback will be the one putting his foot through the ball. Jermaine Young, the senior at 6'3", 235 pounds.
Now, we had the pregame interviews, and we already did them, but we didn't have time to air them before we brought them up to here. So we're going to play the pregame interviews during the first part of the halftime. So you're going to see what they said after half of the game has been played. And then, of course, stay tuned after the game for some postgame interviews.
As Jermaine Young will kick it away to the Spartans of Glenbrook North, and we're underway on a Saturday afternoon. And that kick into the end zone and a touchback. And the Spartans offense will make its way out of the field. Let's go ahead and run through these starters for Glenbrook North of the Central Suburban South Conference. Nate Glazebrook, who you'll hear from at halftime, starting at left tackle. Max Mulvihill will start at left guard. He's the little brother of the starting quarterback, Murphy Mulvihill. Patrick Mahoney, the center. Nate McGinnis, the right guard. And Brian Klinkenbroomer will be the right tackle with Charlie Schultz and Patrick Schaller. Some of the receivers, look for J.R. Flood and McCartney Kalmar as those carrying the rock.
And Klinkenbroomer is absolutely my favorite name on that sheet.
Yeah, they shortened it as Klink on the depth chart on the roster. They pull it out to Klinkenbroomer. Spread formation for Glenbrook North to start this game. Rolling right, Mulvihill, an option pitch right, and brought down for almost no gain is the ball carrier, Juan Sainz. And it brings up second down and 12 as Juan Sainz with the first carry of the game. And this definitely has this college football feel, though. I mean, we're at a college stadium, and JUCO, but college stadium nonetheless. Saturday afternoon, college football on TV.
That's the advantage of playing in a stadium like this. It does have that feel to it, as opposed to all the high school stadiums. Although some of these college stadiums, though, it seems like there's more people at the high school stands than there are in the college stands. If this were a Triton football game, you wouldn't see as many fans here, unfortunately.
Well, that's the wondrous thing about high school football. The traditions hold firmer than really a lot of the lower levels college sports around the country, and a couple of strong traditions here, and we see the fans in front of us at St. Patrick. That Shamrocks defense has themselves a third down and 12 as Glenbrook North faces their first third down of this one. Spartans coached by former NFL player Matt Purdy, also a former Iowa guard. And this is big-time pressure for Mulvihill. Keeps his eyes downfield. Will try to turn the corner. Able to get rid of the football. It's nearly intercepted, but it's incomplete. And it's fourth down and a punt upcoming for the Spartans.
That's a very encouraging start for St. Patrick's defense, holding right away.
And speaking of the St. Patrick defense, didn't have a chance to run through some of those names. Let's go ahead and run through some of those names. Kevin Ward, Louis Sagnon, Christian Metropolis, Alex Gawartsky, Nick Armenta, Tony DiBalsamo, Owen Lyons, some of those names up back, Isaiah Smith, Jack Fuller, and Anthony Colley. Some of the names on the back end for St. Patrick.
Yeah, St. Pat's already won the field position challenge here. They're going to get the ball probably left side of midfield.
And on the return here, looking the left sideline, St. Patrick looking for the end zone, but won't get there. Dragged down to the 15-yard line. The ball carrier, Jack Fuller, on the return.
Touchdown saving tackle there.
Fuller, the junior, had himself that small hole, but brought down, Bob, right at the 15-yard line. And you mentioned that field position battle, and that's why you want to win it, is now the Spartans of Glenbrook North pinned in their red zone for their first defensive play of the game. We're just a minute and 9 seconds into this one.
Yeah, I like the idea of kicking off first, and if the offense isn't clicking, you get the ball on your side of on their side of midfield, and that's what's happened here for St. Patrick.
Now the dangerous senior quarterback, Jermaine Young, for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, and doesn't he look bigger than the rest of the players?
Young will hand off left side, following carriers Gaworski, and he's brought down inside the 10. That's Alex Gaworski, the senior at 6'3", 220 pounds.
Big guy.
He'll be the primary carrier today for St. Patrick. Young pitch, moving horizontally across the line, looking for the edge, is Trevor Wozni. And he's knocked out of bounds. Well, he's stopped actually inbounds. Clock will continue to roll, under 10 minutes to play.
Yeah, I like the typical misdirection on that. The quarterback goes left, the running back goes right, and of course they're setting it up for when the pitch doesn't happen. The defense has to figure out and guess which way to go.
And it's 3rd down and 1 for the Shamrocks. And this is when you look like Alex Gaworski is going to possibly get a carry here. Such a big body, 220 pounds, experience as well with the senior distinction next to his name.
Yeah, if it were me, I'd run right up the middle. You got 2 downs to get it.
Well, you got Jermaine Young, who's 235 pounds, actually heavier than his own running back. So maybe he's the one that keeps it this time. It is Jermaine Young. And
you get the Crystal Ball Award.
He'll bowl over a couple defenders to get the first down and bring up 1st down and goal for St. Pat early in this game. And the Shamrocks feeling pretty good. They got this great field position off of a punt return from Jack Fuller. Shamrocks fell 38-13 a week ago. This Spartans team was victorious against Taft to push to 1-0. Just week 2 here in Illinois. Indiana in week 3. Ohio in week 3 as well. I believe Michigan in week 3. Illinois, one of the states to start a little later around the country, as Jermaine Young will be under center. 1st down and goal. Shamrocks trying to take an early lead. Young, handoff to Gaworski. Reaches, leans, stretches. Touchdown, Shamrocks. Alex Gaworski in from 3 yards out, and the great field position capitalized on for Adam Garasqua. And now the quarterback, Young, will step in to take the extra point. Snap was low, handled, Young pushes it right, and it's just a 6-0 lead for the Shamrocks. But we'll get to see that Spartan offense again with an opportunity to try to respond after some special teams mistakes, leaves their defense in a bad position. Dream start for St. Patrick here in the first quarter.
You couldn't have asked for a better start for them, that's for sure. All they had to go was about 15 yards for that touchdown. Then if the defense can hold again, they can win the field position battle for a round 2 and get a 14-0 lead.
And it's 6-0 the score, as we want to give a shout out to Mike O'Neill, 08 and West Point Financial Group for providing complimentary food, soft drinks, and water for the new Shamrock Alumni Tent. This season, the tent will be open at every Shamrock home game. All St. Pat's alumni are invited to enjoy free food and hang out with fellow Shamrocks. Nothing like free food, Bob. I've never turned it down, and I never plan on turning it down. Unless I'm like super full, but then I'll take a nibble at least to see what it would have tasted like had I not had a full stomach. And if it continues like this, if the first 3 minutes is anything like this, the Shamrocks will be full of points by the end of this one, as Young will boot it in the end zone for another touchback.
Well, you can see why he's booting it. You rarely see high school kicks going into the end zone like that. He had a lot of force behind that kick.
Well, when you stand down on the field and you see Jermaine Young and the size of his legs, I mean, you can tell why he can kick very far, Bob. He was a scary force.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he ends up choosing to go to college. Somebody's going to pick him up. The question is for what position and where.
Yeah, I know he's got interest from the Mid-American Conference. I've heard some rumors from some old people I know back in the great states of Ohio, Michigan. As Mulvihill will pull the keep, toss towards near sideline, and stepping out of bounds after the catch is Ryan Henschel. Henschel, one of the captains on this team, the senior, makes his first grab of the day. Matt Purdy entering his third year for Glenbrook North, Bob, and I talked to him before the game, and first off, always excited to talk football. I got him going a little bit, and Matt was just talking. He loved talking about football. One of the questions I asked him is, what's the hardest thing about his job as he learned to delegate? And he said, that's my worst skill. I get better at it every year, but I'm still bad at it, is delegating those tasks. Glenbrook North actually has their winningest coach of all time as an assistant coach on this staff, as Mulvihill will keep it himself right up the middle, have the first down, and then some across the 35, close to the 40. And the chains move for the first time today for the Spartans.
That's the thing about the running game. If you can get yards on the ground, you can just keep pushing back. They don't have to go in the air if they don't have to. They can keep running those kinds of runs.
And the quarterback, Murphy Mulvihill, was not expected to be a quarterback heading into this campaign. I mean, he's a senior. This is his first year starting. And he came out last week in the opening game, 11 of 15, 214 yards and 3 touchdowns in the victory over Taft. There's some movement early. We'll see whether it's a false start or an encroachment. It's a false start. That'll be on the right tackle for the Spartans. And you hear the customary "you can't do that" chant from the student section, who will be loud enough for you to hear, hopefully, throughout the course of today's game. And before the game, you'll hear this interview at halftime. We had the opportunity to talk with one of the defensive linemen, Jaden Griffin, who won't be playing in this game. And he mentioned Christian Metropolis, who's playing in his place, the junior, on the defensive line, wearing the number 63 as the player to possibly keep an eye on this Shamrocks defense. Handoff goes Henschel. Henschel looking for room, picking his way through the pile to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and pushes forward to make it 2nd down and 8. A 7-yard gain.
Yeah, I like those sweeps. Go right, then go left, tire the defense out, get large chunks of ground. You do this 3 times, you keep moving those chains. You don't have to get into the air, and another flag.
And we'll see what the penalty is.
Oh, man, 2nd penalty on the same drive.
Young team for Matt Purdy and his Spartans, and he mentioned he really wants to see, before the game, he was talking to Liam and I down on the field, and the number one thing that he wanted to see was his young team clean it up, get a little more mature, right? Learn as it's happening. And so a couple of illegal procedures, false starts early in the game, has to be frustrating for Purdy on the sideline.
Well, clearly, in that conversation proved to you that this has happened more than just today.
Spartans of Glenbrook North in the whites. Very similar colors for these two teams. Mulvihill will keep after a fake, eyes downfield. Tosses on the run for Henschel, but out of bounds.
Yeah, here they go passing again. I think if I were Glenbrook North, I'd keep it on the ground. The ground game is working, the pass game is not working.
Well, and I feel like after last week, they felt so good after Mulvihill went 11 of 15 on the day. And that's a really high completion percentage for Mulvihill.
At the same time, 15 isn't a whole lot of passes, which does say they are a ground-running team.
Well, and they are already at 4 pass attempts early in the game. They'll go shotgun again. Back to pass Mulvihill. He'll step up in the pocket and take off. And And won't be able to get more than 5 yards as he's pushed out of bounds across the 30 to the 32.
At the 32-yard line.
And it's third down at about 15, maybe 16. Line to gain the 48-yard line, ball at the 32, so technically a third down and 16 on this play. Another third and long for the Spartans. And a false start. Ryan Henschel went early. And that is 3 false start or illegal procedure penalties on the Spartans on this drive. And when you've already had a special teams mistake allow Jack Fuller to get all the way to the 15-yard line and essentially give a free touchdown to the Shamrocks, now it's compounding mistake on mistake on mistake, Bob.
On the other hand, the good thing is they're controlling their own destiny. They're actually able to move the ball. Obviously, of course, because of the penalties, they can't gain ground here. But when they do run and they don't have a penalty, they're able to push the ball. So this isn't so bad, even though it's 3 penalties on the same drive so far. On
a third down and 20-plus, are you playing field position here, Bob, or are you trying to get the first?
Throwing the short pass and hope he can break it.
Mulvihill under pressure. It's a screen. He couldn't get rid of it, and he's sacked in a big-time loss. The opposite of conservative.
I think he was trying to make that short pass, but it wasn't open. The combination there and an excellent rush, and they're back punting from their 10-yard line again. So again, St. Patrick is going to get great field position somewhere on the left side of the 50-yard line.
And on the sack that time was the sophomore Aiden Gomez, who came in and dragged down the quarterback Mulvihill. And this one is a punt from their own end zone. And this is why I think I agree with you. Short pass or a run play up the middle, just so you're not stuck in the same bad field position spot that you were in.
This kick isn't even going to go as far as the first down marker.
It barely, didn't even get there. First down marker was at the 48, punt fielded by Fuller at the 45 of the Spartans. 2 drives for the Shamrocks. Both of them will start in Spartan territory. An absolute dream for Adam Guerra as a head coach. First 2 drives starting in opponent's territory is about as good as it can get.
Now, even though St. Pat's at midfield, though, if Glenbrook North defense can hold them here, they get the ball back. It's only a 1-score game. They can feel pretty fortunate to be in this situation with 2 stalled drives in field position at midfield both times.
Young will be in the shotgun. Kavorski, the running back, to his left. Young eyes downfield, looking to run. Slips out of a tackle in the backfield. Laundry's on the field, though. Might be a penalty marker.
Yeah, this is going to get called back. Probably a hold.
Young with an impressive run, though, across the 30. And it will be a hold, and this will bring back the Shamrocks after the first down run from Young. Reminder that this month is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and Shamrock Athletics will be wearing gold to spread awareness and support Brandon Dix, 04, and his daughter Paige, who was diagnosed with leukemia on Easter Sunday. All proceeds from the 50-50 raffle and the Yellow Ribbon T-shirt sales will be donated to Cal's Angels, a pediatric cancer foundation with a mission of granting wishes, raising awareness, and funding research to help kids fight cancer. 46 children a day, or 16,790 children a year, are expected to be diagnosed with cancer, so please help out Shamrock Athletics with Childhood Cancer Awareness Month and buy yourself a gold T-shirt.
And another flag.
Now, Saturday, that's normally when I do my laundry. Looks like the officials have decided to do theirs as well. And it'll be offside against the Shamrocks, which is possible on the offense, just hard.
Yeah, and before the ball was snapped, had to have been lined up offsides.
Well, we've had more penalty yardage than total yardage so far today.
Well, this is all good for Glenbrook North here.
Young, handoff, Wozni. Wozni trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He falls across midfield. Back into Spartans territory go the Shamrocks. And it brings up second down and 14.
Brings up second down and about 15 yards to go for the Shamrocks from there.
The Shamrocks team, 8-1 2 years ago, Bob. And with Jermaine Young under center taking snaps and shotgun, anything's possible. He's a big play waiting to happen. And it's second down and 14. Showing pressure, the Spartans. Pressure coming. Held up well. Young gets rid of it before he's hit. Sliding, incomplete. Almost had his intended target that time. Brandon Capo was the intended target.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back when the last completion in this game has occurred. I think both teams are successful at keeping the ball on the ground. I would stay there. But 3rd and 14, long way to go for a first down here. And you can't say it's in 2-down territory either, not at midfield.
Check that last play. The target was Eze Senseo. So that was Ceseno, the junior, on the target. As Jermaine Young will now face a 3rd down and 14.
Now, Glenbrook North has to do is contain him. They have to spy so he can't run for it.
Pressure, unable to get home. Young will fire a pass on the run. It's caught. Knocked off his block was Brosnan. Gets back to where he was hit at the line of scrimmage. Mikey Brosnan makes some positive yardage, but only a 4-yard gain. And it's 4th down and long.
Right where the ball started on this drive.
And it looks like Shamrocks are going to go for it.
I guess I was wrong about it being in 2-down territory. I would not be doing this. I would punt it, put Glenbrook North back. They haven't proven that they could do anything with the ball yet. I would not be making
again, you made the point that it's penalty yardage.
Yes,
so maybe
true.
they figure it out this time. And if you're St. Patrick, this might be an opportunity to really grab hold of this football game. A 6-point lead, late first quarter. 4th down and 10, and it's a pooch punt.
Yeah, they did kick. Good call. If it stays...
Is it going to sit? No. Rushing down there was Mikey Brosnan to try to stop it from going into the end zone, but it's a touchback. And the Glenbrook North Spartans will start from the 20-yard line. Another message from St. Patrick High School. They'll be hosting 2 open houses this fall on Thursday, October 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. and Sunday, November 7th from 1 to 3 p.m. We hope you will join us to learn more about the state-of-the-art programs and facilities at St. Pat's and meet faculty, staff, alumni, current parents, and students. For more information, visit stpatrick.org/admissions. The Shamrocks defense back out on the field to face Murphy Mulvihill in an empty set. Quick screen out. Nice timing pass. A completed pass left side. As Connor Durst was the intended target and the receiver on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 6.
And Glenbrook is still trying to stay in the air.
Well, they had a game plan. I do respect sticking to a game plan. You see something on film, and just because it doesn't go right initially doesn't mean you go away from it right away. As Mulvihill, a nice pull on a read option, found a hole. Now he's off to the races left sideline, out of bounds across the 40. And how about Murphy Mulvihill? Had 43 rush yards a week ago, moves the chains that time.
Yeah, about a 15-yard gain on the ground. It's misdirection. Same play St. Pat used before. Well, could have used before. This time he kept the ball and went left.
Mulvihill listed at 6 foot, 180 pounds. He is a senior. And it's 1st down and 10. Farthest up the field Glenbrook North has been today. Just over 3 minutes to play, quarter 1. Oh, and a snap, and it's going to be blown dead. False start will be called on the center. And another penalty. It's 5 yards.
Another flag.
Only one holding. I believe we've had 5 procedure penalties now, possibly 6. It's been enough that I've lost count.
Yeah, who would have thought we had to track that?
Probably should have been tracking it after the first 2 if we wanted to track it. 1st down and 15. Line to gain the 50. And it's going to be an offside on the defense. As St. Patrick whistled for it now.
Back and forth we go.
Well, I'm wondering what the confusion is, because that's 3 times now a play's been whistled dead for an offside. 2 or 3 times. One on offense, 1 on defense. 2 on, actually it's been 3. 2 on defense, 1 on offense. Now it's 1st and 10. So we just trading penalties, trading yardage. Mulvihill, a pump fake, under pressure and brought down. Gavorski on the sack. Came from the blind side, and the big linebacker makes it 2nd down and long.
Dare I say, stubbornly passing still. They've proven they can move the ball on the ground other than the penalties, right? But the air game just hasn't been there yet this game.
Ellen St. Patrick did very well bringing pressure that time. It's 2nd down and 15. Snap goes Mulvihill. He's under pressure again. Eyes downfield. He's running backwards, and it's going to be intercepted. Gavorski with the pick, and he runs inside the 20. The Shamrocks will start once again inside of Glenbrook territory. This time an interception. Alex Gavorski, the senior at 220 pounds, jumps in front of the intended target, and a lot of pressure on the quarterback. That's what can happen when he gets outside of the pocket and starting to panic and try to make something happen.
Well, and that's just it. Glenbrook North is in no real bad shape in this game. They had the ball midfield down by 1 score, and they're still staying in the air, and then they got picked off. Now they're in trouble if St. Pat scores.
Jermaine Young under center. Fake the handoff and roll right. Eyes to the end zone. We'll flip it short of the end zone to Ceseno. It's a 1st down. And a nice strike from Young. A nice job from Ceseno to come towards that football and make the catch. It's such a fundamental thing that so many people will forget at the receiver position. You just kind of get caught waiting for that football. Ceseno did a great job of coming back to it. Receiver at the bottom of your screen is Keith Hoffman. Jermaine Young, the quarterback, will keep. Broken a leg tackle in the backfield. A penalty marker will come late after about a 6-yard pickup from Young. And we'll see what the marker was. A penalty field
holding.
1st quarter.
It's just that, yeah, there's a preliminary sign.
Spartans number 33, Quinn Clark.
And that'll move back the Shamrocks. St. Patrick has dominated this 1st quarter by every metric.
Well, Glenbrook North can dodge another bullet if they can keep St. Pat out of the end zone, keep it a 1-score game.
And the way this game's been played, with the amount of time St. Patrick's been inside of Glenbrook North territory,
right.
They've started every drive, 3 now. This will be the 3rd drive starting inside of Spartan territory. That's 3 for 3. The only offensive play that the Shamrocks have run in their own territory was because of their own penalties that brought them back into their own territory. So if you're the Spartans and you can get out of this quarter, Bob, only down 6-0 in the football, that's a massive win.
That's exactly right.
Gavorski next to Jermaine Young. The 235-pound quarterback look at end zone. Flipping over the head and nearly intercepted. Ceseno, the intended target, and it was in and out of the hands of the defensive back.
Oh, he was very fortunate. The defensive back went for the tackle, which he should do. The ball was overthrown. If he just waited there for the ball, he would have had it right in his hands.
And Dylan Weiss still tried to get his hands up there late, but Weiss was unable to bring it in. Senior thought he might have had himself a pick 6. There was no green jerseys in front of him if he'd have been able to bring that down. 2nd down and 15. Young in the shotgun. Mikey Brosnan, the receiver, at the bottom of your screen. At the top is Ceseno. Young looking for Brosnan. Eyes downfield, flips end zone, found a man for a touchdown. Sneaking in there was the tight end Owen Lyons. He hugged the sideline, and it fit into a window from Young, and it's 12-0 St. Pat. And how about that play from Jermaine Young, Bob? Kept his eyes downfield, kept his poise, kept his feet, kept his calm, and he fit it into a tight little window to Owen Lyons, who found his hole in the zone.
And that's the dagger Glenbrook North didn't need and what they were hoping to avoid.
Kick is up and good from Young this time, and it's 13-0 Shamrocks in the first quarter. They've taken advantage of advantageous field position given to them by the Spartans of Glenbrook North, and they've used their 3 drives that have started in opponent's territory to produce 13 points and have shut out the Spartans so far through the first quarter.
Well, and that then means 2 of the 3 drives that St. Pat's had resulted in touchdowns.
That's a good percentage.
Yeah.
If they hold that through today, they'll be the winners.
Yeah, Glenbrook North has to stop with the penalties, just like Coach said, right? And then run the ball.
Well, now you're down 13. It's going to be even a tougher ask for coaches to run the ball. They feel like they're going to get desperate. What would you be preaching to the coaching staff?
Well, it's easy for me to say at this point in time. Glenbrook North is able to move the ball on the ground, stay on the ground. Obviously, they have to avoid the penalties, but even the penalties, it's not deadly if they can get a 5-yard penalty and still run for 7 or 8 more yards on the next play. But if they keep passing interceptions and completions, they'll never move the chains.
We'll see what the Spartans elect to do offensively here at the tail end of the first quarter. Shamrocks kicking away after the touchdown from Young to Lyons. And this return will go out across the 25-yard line, and stood up there is the return man for the Spartans, Quinn Clark. 13-0 the score. The first touchdown was come from Govaworski. A 3-yard touchdown after great field position from the from the Shamrocks after a Jack Fuller punt return for a touchdown. And then we just had the touchdown a few seconds ago, Young to Lyons from 15 yards out. Mulvihill handed off that time. Breaking out of a tackle in the backfield and getting a couple of yards was Reese Marquez. As Philbin, the defensive back, coming up for the tackle.
I like the play call, though. Fake the pass, they have been passing, and then ran it.
A yard on the play brings up 2nd down and 9 yards to go.
And it's 2nd down and 8. Energy's high here, Bob. Shamrock fans feeling good. Leading by 13 at now the end of the first quarter. We'll step aside for our first commercial break. It's all Shamrocks. They haven't even allowed the ball to go the other side of the field, offense or defense. All St. Pat through 1. You're watching high school football on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
So, well.
Let it roll. How long?
28 now. Here, I'm going to cut it, and you're going to be on.
Back here at Triton College, 2nd down and 8 for the Spartans. Man in motion was McCartney Kalmar. They'll dump to Kalmar over his head. Wide open was the intended target, McCartney Kalmar. But Mulvihill delivered it over his head, Bob, and it's incomplete, and they continue to throw the balls. It's 3rd down and 8. I feel like, I think your advice would have been well heeded there, Bob, of maybe trying to make it a 3rd down and short instead of 3rd down and 8, another incompletion.
Well, and there again, they're not in 2-down territory here, not in your own end of the field. So if they gain 4 yards on the run, well, maybe they can think about it, but you can't go on 4th and 8. Now they're going to pass again. So far, passing hasn't been kind to Glenbrook North.
Imagine it will be a throw. It is. Mulvihill, eyes downfield. He's under pressure right up the middle. In hot pursuit. As he throws it into traffic, was that intercepted again? No, incomplete. It hit the ground. Nick Armenta was the man in hot pursuit. And again, the offensive line can't hold for a pass play. Mulvihill running too far back downfield. And this passing game for the Spartans has sputtered out completely.
Yeah, and I didn't like that pass either because it was back to the line of scrimmage only, and they had the risk of being intercepted. That one he needed to throw it away.
Well, it just feels like there's a free runner coming at the quarterback every single time from this defense of the Shamrocks. And that's a credit to, A, their blitz packages, and that talent up front. Everybody's winning one-on-ones when they get the opportunity.
Well, the Shamrocks defense has been very good. This is not a good punt from Glenbrook North.
But it takes a Glenbrook North bounce.
Fortunately. Oh, and he stopped it.
And touched it for no apparent reason. But it's down to the 44, and that's where the Shamrocks will begin with a 13-point lead. And Bob, right now, through this portion of the game, this is control time now for St. Pat. If they can find a way to grind the clock, run the ball, and score another touchdown, we could be halfway through the second quarter with a 3-score Shamrocks lead. And they've only had a couple plays in their own territory.
Well, you're so right about that, but what they have been doing and able to do is run their game plan, whatever it was. Running, passing, mixing it up. They've been successful 2 out of the 3 possessions for touchdowns. Here we go, the 4th possession.
First down and 10 from their own 44. Young will hand off to Alex Gowarski. Gowarski up the left sideline and out of bounds for a first down inside Spartan territory.
Again, that deadly run. Neither team can stop the run.
And he's just so big. Alex Gowarski running down that sideline, Bob. I mean, I wouldn't want to be the one tackling him. And what's crazy is you've got a big body, 220-pound power back, and he's smaller than his own quarterback.
Yeah, when's the last time we've seen that?
And Jermaine Young has barely been used as a runner, and some would argue that that's his number one strength as a quarterback.
Well, that's, St. Patrick has more to go here.
13-0 lead, a first down inside Spartan territory. Young hands off left side. Wozni on the carry. Pushes towards the first down marker, gets 5+, and it's second down and manageable. And they've got the lightning thunder type combination in the backfield too. Trevor Wozni getting some carries. Wozni, the 5'9", 165-pound lightning, to Gavorski's 220-pound thunder.
Yeah, and it's like you said it earlier, too. If they continue to follow their game plan and score a touchdown here, 3-touchdown lead in the middle of the second quarter, especially the way Glenbrook North has been not moving the ball, is pretty insurmountable at this point.
Thunder standing next to Jermaine Young. Young will drop back to pass. Under pressure, eyes downfield, tries to slip through that pressure, and he's sacked. Big loss on the play of about 10 yards, and it's third down and 14.
Yeah, far be it for me to tell them how to coach, but I just don't understand why they don't continue to grind it out on the ground. It was only 2nd and 4 for a first down, and now they're going, 10 yards, 15 yards backwards.
Under 10 minutes to play now. Perhaps Adam Guerra wanting to take a shot on second down, but great coverage on the back end from the Spartans. And just, these young quarterbacks, we've seen it a few times today, you cannot go backwards. One, you make all your throws harder, and if you get sacked, it's going to be double the yardage.
That has been their inclination. They see a rush, and they go back up instead of go sideways or throw it away.
Third down, 14. Young under pressure, steps up in the pocket. Eyes downfield, he's going to decide to run. And is pushed out of bounds after he gets past the original line of scrimmage to the 36-yard line.
What do you think?
And a late penalty marker comes here, Bob.
Unsportsmanlike conduct would be my guess, but I didn't see the play.
We'll see what the call is from the white hat official. For those you might not know, the official wearing the white hat is the head official. And it's a personal foul on the Spartans. So that's going to turn a fourth down attempt into a free first down for the Shamrocks. And a mistake-filled Saturday afternoon continues to compound for the Spartans. And a young team looking to try to come into its own is not gotten out of its own way this afternoon, and the Shamrocks have been taking advantage of it every chance they get.
Yeah, penalties have just been killing Glenbrook North, both offense and now defensively.
And they've been killing them so much that Shamrocks could complain about penalties on their own end, but they've been outdone that it's been negligible. Man in motion is Lyons, who caught the touchdown earlier. Young will hand off Wozni. Wozni room to run. Tripped up inside the 10, down to the 5. That's a first down and goal now for the Shamrocks. And Jack Philbin involved in another tackle, the defensive back, tied for the team lead in tackles for the Spartans, and that's not what you want to be saying about one of your safeties. You know, I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan, and our safeties have led the team in tackle for the last 4 years. That's why they haven't been any good.
That's exactly right. And here, again, St. Pat, they just got to keep this ball on the ground. They got 4 downs to get it in from here. Don't go backwards.
No Gavorski on the field. Their handoff, Wozni tries to pick his way through the pile. The 160-pound back dragged down short of the goal line. But it's now inside the 5 at about the 2.5. And this is exactly what you wanted out of this drive if you were St. Patrick. They've run time. They're up 13. 2nd down and goal. You got 3 more plays to make it a 3-score game. And 3 scores, with the way Glenbrook North has moved the football, they're going to have to put the ball in the air, and they just can't handle a lot of the pressure from the Shamrocks right now. They're going to need something from the defense, and that's why a smart timeout taken here from Purdy. We'll go ahead and keep it here. I really like this timeout, Bob, from Matt Purdy. If you can find a way to dig deep and get a goal line stand, you could shift the momentum of this game. And frankly, if you're a Spartans fan, you need them to make this stop because you're asking for a lot in half number 2 if you allow a touchdown here to St. Pat.
So true, but I don't want to be Joe Pessimist here, but Glenbrook North has not been able to stop any part of this running game. So with 3 more downs at the 2 or 3 yard line, St. Pat just has to keep pushing it up the middle, maybe to the left or the right. They've got a huge quarterback. They can do that misdirection play and really make havoc on Glenbrook North here. I don't see how Glenbrook North is going to keep them out of the end zone, but obviously what you're saying, that's what they have to do. Now, the other thing Glenbrook North can try to do is strip the football, get a surprise turnover that way and not let this game get out of hand. But a 20-something lead, middle of the 2nd quarter, and relying on Glenbrook's air offense is probably not the way to go. I don't think there's plenty of time to go in the game, though, if Glenbrook does get the ball back, to keep the ball on the ground. But they have to score 1 touchdown at a time. They won't get large chunks of ground quickly.
Big time goal line opportunity for the Shamrocks. Young started under center. Now they'll switch it up here. Snap from Young, and their penalty marker coming late. It looked like a false start on the right side.
That didn't occur to me that another penalty was going to occur, right? So it's still 2nd down and 8. So I'd still keep it on the ground if I were St. Pat.
Yep, 2nd and 8, and that was a good call. That was late movement forward towards the line of scrimmage, not a part of any motion.
But if you're St. Pat, don't panic here. Don't throw it. Run it somewhere. Left, right, up the gut.
I trust Jermaine Young here. I'm worried about points. So if you feel like you got a good call to put it in the air, I mean, we've seen Young already with a red zone touchdown pass to Owen Lyons.
Well, if you do that, I would say do it on a rollout, not pocket pass, and don't let him run backwards.
Wozni, the runner, next to Young. Young had that read, that RPO. He breaks a few tackles in the backfield and gets to the 1 yard line. Small window. I'm glad he didn't try to toss it in there, but that was an RPO, and it was open for just a half second from Young, but he elects to keep it himself and gets it right on the doorstep. 3 feet, 1 yard, a little under a meter if you're a metric system fan. That's what separates the Shamrocks from a 3-score lead.
Quarterback dive would be my guess.
Young under center. Going right up the middle and a touchdown. Nothing was stopping the 235 pounds of Jermaine Young, and the Shamrocks have a 19-point lead pending an extra point. And a dream start for St. Pat has now turned into a dream half.
Now, if I'm St. Pat, I just go ahead and just kick the point. But the temptation, of course, is to run it in to get to an even 21 points. In football terms, that's an even number.
They're going to go for two.
They are going for two.
Correction, 3-yard line.
Gavorski in the backfield alongside Young. Look for Fuller, incomplete. Fuller, the intended target. They're going to call a penalty, and I don't know about that one. Ryan Henschel, the man in coverage. They'll say he went over the shoulder of Jack Fuller. And they're going to have another opportunity of this two-point conversion. I didn't see the backside of Fuller. He might have pulled the jersey with his right arm, but it looked like to me he was going for the football.
Yeah, it'd have to be something we just didn't see on the opposite side. And to the referee's credit, he was on the opposite side. So if
it
there
would
was
have had to been a pull on that back shoulder.
Yeah, I go on further. I don't think that ball was even catchable. It was thrown in the dirt behind him. There's no way. But the call was made. They got a second chance.
And another opportunity at a two-point conversion.
Yeah, now my immediate reaction when I saw that they were passing was, don't do that. So let's see if they run it in this time a little closer to the end zone.
Now from one instead of two. Young, quick rollout right. Eyes end zone. Dumps. Incomplete. Should have just taken it himself. Nobody was going to stop Jermaine Young if he wanted it. Tried to throw for two instead of run. Intended target was Lions. It's incomplete. But touchdown and a 19-point lead for St. Patrick. That's all that really matters. It's still a 3-score advantage. And the Spartans have a long, long way to go and a big hole to dig themselves out of.
Now, as much as we might want to second-guess the play call on that particular play, though, whatever, it's 19-0. The team is playing as a whole. Just absolutely fantastic this game. A couple of penalties have hurt them a little bit, but 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns. What more do you want from an offense?
As the overcast skies bring a shade of night as mid-afternoon turns to evening. Here in the, are we technically in the, no, we're technically in another city.
Is this River Forest? I think this is River Forest.
I am not from Chicagoland, so I'm just doing my best. It's all Chicago to me.
I should know because I come to Triton every now and then for a match. In fact, I'll be here again in a week and a half coaching the volleyball team.
I mean, to me, it's all Chicago-landy, right? I mean, it was an easy drive. It's just like the city.
Well, let's hope Glenbrook North can get on track, but they got to do it on the ground. There is enough time in the game to get 3 touchdowns and keep St. Pat out of the end zone, but they're not doing it so far in the air.
And this one will be returned. First kickoff that did not go into the end zone. Bouncing off the original tackler and pushing forward is Quinn Clark, the returner for the Spartans. And with just about half of the second quarter to go, the Spartans will try to make their way into Shamrock's territory for the first time today. They have not even crossed the 50. And it's really been self-induced. You feel like they've been moving the football, but penalty has been the lack of an oil change, so to say, in the engine of this offense. Mulvihill, quick dump pass. It's going to be caught. Breaking tackles out of the backfield and moving forward is McCartney Kalmar. And a late penalty marker coming out, and this one looks like it'll be on the Shamrocks. I didn't see what happened there, Bob. I don't know if you did.
No, I missed it too. It was late, so it has to be the personal foul type variety.
Well, and the Spartan sideline was quite livid.
So they saw something.
Yeah, they must have seen something. Well, they saw something. Penalty marker came out. Not much argument from the Shamrocks. Something certainly happened. The wonderful things called context clues. Ball directly at the 50-yard line. First down and 10.
Well, you can say Glenbrook North is at midfield right here, just down by 3 scores.
And if the Spartans just get 1 yard, it'll be their first time inside of Shamrock's territory today. Murphy, Mulvihill. Sends Henschel in motion. Will dump out to Henschel on an RPO. He's 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Slips out of a tackle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Keeps going forward and gets close to the first down marker. Ryan Henschel, an amazing play from the captain, as it almost can be classified as a run. The pass was nearly backwards, and it looked like a 10-yard loss. Ends up being a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, that was a real nice run after catch. It looked like he was going to be 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Some question, was the ball even going forward? In other words, if he dropped it, would that be a fumble? Backward lateral. But he caught it, ran forward for about 6 more yards while breaking a tackle. Good game.
And when this ball is snapped, it will be the first run by the Spartans inside opponent's territory, and it's blown up. Somehow slipping out of the tackle in the backfield is the running back, but it won't matter. A loss of 3 as a collection of Shamrocks sprinted through the middle and stuffed the play, and it's 2nd down and 6. As Owen Lyons credited with the stop there, but it was a whole game of Shamrocks.
Just saying, this becomes a big point in the game to get this first down. You don't want to not make it and have to punt. Of course, the way things are going, Glenbrook North will probably make on 4th down, even here at midfield.
3rd down and 6. Shamrock showing pressure up the middle. Man in motion is Calmo. Eyes downfield, Mulvihill. He's going to tuck. He's decided to run. Tries to get towards the sideline and won't be able to get back to the line of scrimmage. 4th down and long upcoming for Glenbrook.
Yeah, probably lost the yard on that play, you'd have to say.
A lot of intensity on this Shamrock sideline for a 19-point lead, as the Spartans are going to decide to punt.
Wise choice here. Even though you're down by 3 touchdowns, you can't give St. Pat yet another short field.
And you're just facing so much pressure, I'm not even sure you can have 10-yard routes formulated.
Well, I think on the ground, Glenbrook North can pick up large chunks.
Jack Fuller had a big punt return earlier. He's the man back there. He'll let it roll, and it's going to stop inside the 5. The first break of the game for the Spartans. They've been waiting for Lady Luck to smile upon them, and it took all the way till 4 minutes left in this half for it to finally smile on Glenbrook North.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better punt, landing right there at the 1-yard line, and it wasn't even touched until it stopped. It wasn't like the coverage team stopped it. The punt just landed there. Couldn't be more perfect. Now, if you're Glenbrook North, try to penetrate the line, and maybe you can get 2 points out of it and make it a 2.5 score game, so to speak.
Well, if they can create some chaos, that would be beneficial to them. They need a play late here in the first half. Jermaine Young's going to quarterback sneak up the middle. Very smart call as he uses all 235 pounds of him to slip out of the pile. And now Young going to try to use his breakaway speed. He's off to the races. The 30, the 20. Jermaine Young played some hide and seek. And the Shamrocks have a 4-score lead.
That is going to go on everybody's highlight film play.
Oh, a penalty marker sitting at the 10.
Oh, you got to be kidding. This is coming back?
And it's going to be coming back. And the excitement going to be drawn down as that penalty marker was kind of hiding a little bit on the 10 of the numbers on the far sideline.
I still don't see it. Is it still sitting there?
Yeah. I believe so. Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
And Coach Guerra's all the way out past the numbers having a conversation with the White Hat about what exactly happened. I mean, it's going to be a block in the back.
That was just a quarterback sneak, essentially right up the middle, and somehow he broke through the whole defensive front.
I don't think he even entered the mass of humanity because there was a big pile of bodies, and Young just kind of stayed on the outside of that circle and kind of hugged that big mass and then slipped around the outside of it.
Very patient runner.
Poise, maturity, patience, and then breakaway speed. I mean, Young like a train going downhill once you let him loose. And there was no catching him. But it's coming back. Still 19-0 St. Patrick. But we see the danger of Jermaine Young with his legs.
Oh, they blew the whistle. Forward progress stopped. So there was no penalty. The whistle blew. That might explain why Glenbrook North didn't tackle him.
I feel like you and I would have heard a whistle, Bob. But I know that's what they're saying. I didn't hear one. Did you?
I did not hear one, but it's 1st and 8. When have you ever seen a 1st and 8?
So an inadvertent whistle. The official call and a timeout taken by the Shamrocks. That's their first charge timeout. So the inadvertent whistle rule is one of the toughest in sports, and it's officials, if they accidentally blow the whistle, it stops play.
Right, and I think that timeout came because they didn't have enough players on the field on defense. So just another, error that you just shouldn't be making. Of course, after a 100-yard touchdown run getting called back because of an inadvertent whistle, I guess if you're not going to have the right number of players on the field after a play like that, it's far more logical than the normal play. So,
well, because it must have been, Bob, it must have been a whistle that was only heard by some players and not us up here. Maybe like a half blow or getting ready to blow it. Oh, well. First down and about 7. Line to gain the 14. As Young gives the ball to his back, who powers forward.
Well, that's
Jaworski on the carry.
And that's another thing I didn't understand. Why would it still be first down after the inadvertent whistle? Now it's second down and about 2.
I don't think it was an inadvertent whistle now. Now that you mentioned that fact, I think it was a penalty. It just happened downfield. So that's why it was first and 8, because it's from the spot of the
right, I'm following.
So whatever the call was, unfortunate if you're a Shamrocks fan. And fortunate if you're a Spartans fan, they got 2 breaks. A punt that rolls inside the 5 and a big touchdown run called back. Young, handoff Gaworski. He powers through the original tackle and gets a first down near the 20-yard line.
I like that. Get the first down, let the clock run, move the chains. Still a 3-score lead.
Yeah, if you're the Shamrocks, you want to be the last team with the football in this half. And you would love to have a 4-score lead along with it. Young, handoff, Wozni. And he gets tripped up from behind, maybe just a yard. Second down for the Shamrocks as we approach 2 minutes to play here in the opening half.
So that was good defense there, stringing out the play and making the tackle.
Jermaine Young already with 2 touchdowns today, 1 passing, 1 throwing. He's been the starring man. And reminder, at halftime, we're going to have a couple interviews from before the game to play for you. As we talk to Jaden Griffin, who's hurt today for St. Patrick. Young back to pass. Zips a pass that's bobbled and then finally caught. As Mikey Brosnan, the intended target, shows his juggling ability. So we approach 90 seconds here in the opening half. And I really like this running back combination of Wozni and Gaworowski, as they've really done a good job of timely switching those, keeping both of those guys fresh, having 2 good running backs, so key in a modern offense, especially a modern spread offense.
Well, and the strategy here is keep the ball until the end of the half or score.
Young steps up in the pocket, rockets one over the middle, it's incomplete. Owen Lyons, not afraid of the contact, couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, I would not have thrown it there, but they did. 15-yard pass. Right, it appeared to be in his hands, but bobbled it a little bit and then was tackled right away. Good defensive play by Glenbrook North to make sure he didn't hold on to it.
Now that's a nice ball in high school, but in college you're going to get an earful from the coach saying, hey man, we can't put our receivers in that type of danger. Because a Division I safety would have ended that play with a lot more violence.
Or in the NFL, you would have gotten fined for making the tackle.
But the play would have been ended with violence either way. Penalty or not, you have a tight end, hands in the air. Those guys are looking for a nice body shot. Minute 7 left. 2nd and 10. Shamrocks up 19. Young up in the pocket and out of the hands of Ceseno. A great throw. And unable to be completed. It's 3rd down and 10. Clock stopped at 60 seconds on the nose.
See, here's the pickle that they're in, right? No, so they probably have to punt it because they're in their own end zone, giving Glenbrook North one more shot with the ball.
Well, they're at 3rd and 10 right now.
3rd and 10. Well, they got one more shot to get this first down, or Glenbrook gets it.
If they...
And Glenbrook has right? And Glenbrook has timeouts to stop the clock, so they can get the ball back if they don't get a first here.
But if you're the Spartans, you just content with a 19-point deficit at this point with the way the half's gone.
Oh, I want the ball one more time if I'm them, though.
I like your style. 3rd down and 10. Young facing pressure. Made the throw through the pressure, and it's over the head of his intended target, Ceseno. No penalty markers down. It's 4th and 10. Punt upcoming for the Shamrocks, and the Spartans might have one more opportunity with the football.
Yeah, Spartans sure did their job. They're getting the ball back in less than a minute, but they're still going to have a chance to throw a couple balls downfield. They seem to like to pass. Maybe they're actually good at it. They just haven't been good at it today.
Jermaine Young will be the punter. Always beware of a fake punt here when you got Jermaine Young.
Oh, in your own end zone? Well,
I mean, I wouldn't do it now, but with Jermaine Young having the football in his hand, you got to beware.
Maybe if they were midfield in the middle of a quarter.
Is this one end over end?
A late fair catch.
And he's hit after a fair catch. Penalty marker down.
Oh, are you kidding? I think that fair catch is way too late.
Well, if he completed a full 1-2 back forth, he's granted it.
Well, let's see what let's see what they say. Will they grant it or not?
It's not just one wave of the hand. It's a wave and then a wave back. You got to have the full wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi, to get that fair catch given to you.
Let's see which way they walk this off. Yeah. It was late. So now they're losing more yardage. That's too bad at the end of a half.
One of the favorite things I've ever done in any football setting is we had a flag football league where there was no fair catch rule.
Oh, right.
But nobody knew that. So whenever we'd have the ball punted to us, we would wave for a fair catch ferociously
yes.
and then run. First time was quite hilarious. A bunch of frat dudes wondering what happened to them. A late fair catch will push back the Spartans. 51 seconds left. A 19-point deficit for Glenbrook North. See if Mulvihill can make something happen here at the end of the half. He'll try to keep the football. He does keep the football. Room to run. Bounced off a tackle. Moving backwards now. Cuts back upfield. Gets close to the marker that's at the 46. And a positive play for Murphy Mulvihill.
Yeah, I got to say, it was a pretty good run. Took the long way for sure.
And a timeout taken by the Spartans with 31 seconds left. All Shamrocks, just a recap of how this game's gone. First quarter started with the first 3 Shamrock possessions starting inside of Spartan territory. One from a long punt return and a couple from turnovers from the Spartans. 2 of those drives ended up in touchdowns. And then later in the second quarter, Jermaine Young plunged in after a nice long touchdown drive to give a 19-0 lead to St. Patrick. And for the Spartans, they've moved the football somewhat successfully, but haven't had much success in the air. And they've been forced to go to the air quite a bit because they've been in 1st and 15, 1st and 20 from false start or illegal procedure penalties.
Well, and here they're still on their side of midfield, but they do have 30 seconds, so you got to figure they're going to try to go downfield, hopefully near the sideline if they can make that happen, or run up the middle and call another timeout.
2nd down and 1.
If they move the chains, the clock will stop briefly.
Mulvihill will step up in the pocket, put his eyes down and watch the rush, and he'll be sacked. And it's going to be 3rd down from the 41-yard line. Another timeout from the Spartans with 22 seconds left.
And that was their last timeout.
For me, Bob, I don't take a timeout here. Nothing has gone right. And for me, running an offensive play is just a way to guarantee a loss at halftime.
Well, I think I would try to throw it downfield again. You never know. There's a deflection. Somebody else grabs it. Something can happen. Pass interference. I would still want the chance to run a couple of plays anyway. But you're absolutely right. Nothing has gone right so far. And sometimes it's always good to, sometimes it's good to regroup.
On the Shamrocks, we'll start with the football in the second half. So,
well, maybe Glenbrook North can win the field position battle in the second half then. But I would throw something absolutely downfield here, hope for pass interference, hope for a catch, a deflection, something good. I think they're safe if it gets intercepted downfield. There's not a lot of time for St. Pat to run it all the way back, using their offense at least.
I just have watched enough chaos at the end of the half, perhaps.
You're right. Well, and it's a good chance nothing will get thrown here, and he'll get sacked or run around and get tackled. We'll see. It looks like 3 receivers to the left. Hail Mary left is what it looks like.
Yeah, they run a play action. Mulvihill eyes downfield. And complete a pass for a first down. Nice completion there. The intended target was Patrick Schaller. 11 seconds now. And the Spartans are going to get up and spike the football. So second down and 10, 11 seconds.
Well, they got closer to the end zone than that. Now, what I didn't like is the receiver, when catching the ball, needed to come back to the quarterback. The receiver set himself. He absolutely was open. Then when the throw came to him, it could have been knocked down relatively easy by the defensive back. You got to go back to the quarterback while the ball is in the air. And if the ball is still in the air, you got to keep going back to the quarterback. But it was still caught. The ball's at the 42-yard line. 11 seconds. Maybe they got time for 2 plays.
Well, going to the football also gets you a nice little head start to make your cut. If you're just standing still, it's so hard to make an athletic motion right after you catch the ball. But if you already got your legs moving, easier to find a way to cut back upfield. Mulvihill rolling right. Might be the last play of the half. Gowarski in pursuit. He whips one to the sideline. It's complete. No, incomplete. Looked like a catch from over here is Ryan Henschel, the receiver. But it's incomplete. 5 seconds left in the half. This will be the final play of the half.
Yeah, this will be the Hail Mary into the end zone. But the offensive line has to stop with the rush here. I mean, on that play, even though it was a roll right, there was no attempt at stopping the defensive end from coming through.
Third down and 10.
Got plenty of room to roll right.
The down doesn't matter. Last play of the half. St. Patrick up 19-0. Spartans, Glenbrook North with the football, trying to make something happen and carry momentum into half 2. A play action. Mulvihill tosses it high in the air. It won't make it to the end zone. And a nice job by Jermaine Young to knock the football down. 19-0 to score. All Shamrocks in the first half. They had all the luck their direction. And that's pretty fitting for a Shamrock, I'd say. But the Spartans kind of tripped over themselves in that first half with a few penalties, and St. Patrick showed that offensive ability. Bob and I will break down that opening half. When we come back, we'll also have some interviews from the pregame from a few players as well. High school football returns next. 19-0 St. Patrick. This is on Sports Broadcast Solutions. 19-0 to score. St. Patrick in the lead over Glenbrook North as the Shamrocks, 3 first-half touchdowns, 2 of them from the quarterback, Jermaine Young. 1 a pass, 1 a run. They just dominated that first half, Bob, in terms of field position, in terms of yardage. They had the advantage. They made less mistakes. They capitalized on the mistakes made by Glenbrook North. Honestly, St. Patrick, the only thing that didn't go well in that first half was that touchdown of 80-plus yards they had called back from Jermaine Young. That was called back. That was the only negative thing that happened for the Shamrocks in half number 1.
It's been all St. Pat's, just like you said. I'd like to see Glenbrook North run. Here's an onside kick.
Onside kick early, rolling towards the sideline.
Like might have gotten it, but it might have gone out of bounds before they got it. From this angle, we really can't tell.
Going to wait on the official. And it looks like Shamrocks are going to have the football. And it will be St. Patrick football. I want to remind you that St. Patrick Athletics is now on Twitter. Follow them at SPHS Rocks for the latest news, scores, and highlights of all Shamrock Athletics teams. And this season, make sure you watch all of Shamrock football on the Sports Broadcast Solutions YouTube channel. Each broadcast will include pre- and post-game interviews, play-by-play and color commentary, live scoreboard, and more. For more information, visit www.stpatrick.org/athletics.
Boy, I got to say you're good at reading those things.
That's a lot of them read. Thank you, Bob. As the handoff goes, Wozni, and he comes up close to the first down marker and actually a yard short. And one time we were at my old job. It was actually my job to read commercials, and I was supposed to delegate. And 1 week we had a bunch of people take a vacation, so I tried my hand at a collection of accents. So it was just a bunch of different accented versions of me reading the commercials that week. I promise to all of you watching, I will not try an accent. Unless you really, really ask.
Oh, we might have to pick one out. Maybe an Australian accent later.
Oh, that's my best one. Hey.
Now, you would have said that for all the accents.
No. There's a couple that I try, I get made fun of. Jet sweep. It's technically a pass from Young for a first down as Jack Fuller on the reception. And I don't think anybody's going to actually put that down as a pass in the stat sheet, but it was a forward pass from Young. 19-0 St. Patrick. These overcast skies have not produced any rain. They don't look to be producing rain anytime soon, although they are dark and ominous. But the situation on the field is ominous right now for the Spartans. A 3-score deficit. And on the opening drive of the second half, St. Patrick trying to push and make it a 4-score game.
Jermaine Young, the ball on the ground as they should.
Wozni with the handoff, keeping the legs churning, and he stood up there where there's a whistle. And that was about a 4-yard carry for Wozni on first down. Have to love the excitement from the student section still from the Shamrocks.
Yeah, as loud as I thought the student section was going to be, frankly, they haven't been as loud as I thought they would be.
Well, once they got a 14-point lead, they calmed down a little bit.
I think that's it.
We'll see if a big play can ignite them. 2nd down and 7. Line to gain the 27. Young, handoff, goes up the middle, Vince Medina.
Oh, he made a cut that I thought he was going to get around and go for it on the right side, but good tackle.
Philbin on the tackle, another tackle for Philbin. He's going to be the team leader in tackles after tonight for the Spartans, and he's a defensive back. You want the LBs, not the DBs, making the tackles on defense.
Yeah, right. Just like the Bengals, right?
Yeah. Let's try not to talk about them until they produce a win this season. That would be nice.
Well, you're more from Ohio than from here. When we bring up the Bears, that causes a lot of consternation. So maybe it's good not to talk about the Bengals or the Bears.
And those are two teams that are really connected right now with Andy Dalton's presence.
Right.
Handoff goes Wozni, cuts back up the numbers, where he's grabbed from behind as a penalty marker enters the fray. We'll see what the marker is. I've been tempted to try to defend Andy Dalton because that's what I did when he quarterbacked in Cincinnati, but the vitriol in this city, it gets pretty tough.
Well,
that's a tough thing to stand against.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually an Andy Dalton fan, believe it or not. I think he's a fantastic NFL quarterback for the last 10 years. Unfortunately, the last several years in Cincinnati didn't have a team around him. The problem in Chicago now is Josh Fields is so good that a lot of people don't want to see Dalton.
Here's your fun Andy Dalton fact. We'll move off the topic. From 2011 to 2015, here's the list of quarterbacks that won more games than Andy Dalton. Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That's the list.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but now he's got Nagy.
Yeah. Downfield, Jermaine Young, big arm, and it's bobbled and incomplete. Cesano, the intended target, couldn't haul it in at the goal line.
Well,
third down and 13.
If that defender wasn't there, he catches the ball in for a touchdown, but he had it in his hands, tackled the arms, the ball went flying.
Good defense there from the Spartans. And that 4th and 13, I misspoke. And 19-point lead. Remember, Jermaine Young, the quarterback, is also the punter for the Shamrocks, so this could be a pooch punt.
Yeah, they did that once already.
And Jack Philbin preparing for that eventuality. He's way back there outside of the picture. But it is a pass. Now Philbin back there as a safety. Stepping up in the pocket, Young. Fires on the run through a tight window and complete. Owen Lyons, the tight end, on the grab, and a beautiful throw over the linebacker underneath the safety. And those are really tough throws to make if you're a quarterback, and Jermaine Young made it look easy.
Yeah, he did, throwing that on the run. And he threw it in a place where nobody can intercept it, low, toward the sideline. Great play.
And that's the second time him and Owen Lyons have used that the zone coverage to their advantage of sitting in it right on the sideline. Handoff goes Wozni, making his way through the Glenbrook North defense for about a 5-6 yard pickup. He's inside the 20-yard line in another red zone situation for St. Patrick.
Second down and 6 yards to go for the Shamrocks.
Second down and 6. Line to gain the 13. Ball at the 19-yard line. St. Patrick trying to make it an awfully difficult task for the Spartans.
Oh, 4 scores, yikes. I wasn't even thinking from that perspective.
Stretch play right. Medina tried to find the edge and could not.
Right, well defended. Boy, this goes into 4 scores. I'm thinking, gain yards in this play, move the chains some more, eventually make a score, but not realizing, 28 or 27, anything, 26 is a blowout.
Just something needs to happen. If you're a Glenbrook North supporter, something has to happen. You got to get a stop. You got to get an interception. You've got to force the ball loose. A big play needed for Coach Purdy and his Spartans. Young under pressure. Looking to throw on the run. Tosses up. Jump ball and incomplete.
They're saying out of bounds, right? Well, I thought he might have had it.
Lyons looked like he had another sideline grab. He worked the balance beam the last 2 times he was near the sideline. This time had the foot on the white, and an incomplete pass brings up a 3rd down and 8. 4th down and 8.
Well, if they were going for it earlier at midfield, they're going to go for it here.
This would be huge for the Spartans.
Again, though, okay, you got 8 yards and 3rd down. You're in 4-down territory. I think sweep left or sweep right at 4 or 5 yards and then go ahead and make on 4th down. But here they are going for it. 8 yards passing probably.
4th down. Young up in the pocket. And he's going to slip out of a sack attempt from behind, but the Spartans defense does a good enough job to keep him from the marker.
Yeah, unfortunately ran into his own offensive line when he's trying to get to the right side, and it slowed him up.
And that's a turnover on downs, and it's Spartans football. And there it is. You wanted a little hope? If you're a Spartan, that's the stop. That's the play. You deny him on the opening drive of the half. And now this Glenbrook North offense, after halftime, gets to come out here and try to make something happen. They need a score before the end of the 3rd quarter if they want a realistic shot at this. Murphy Mulvihill.
They're still in the air.
Quick screen pass incomplete.
Did that go backwards?
Ruled incomplete is Kalmar, the intended target on the swing pass. And Murphy Mulvihill, who was 11 of 15 last week, it's been an inaccurate day for him. Faced a lot of pressure in his face. It hasn't been easy for him working in the pocket. But he's also missed a few layups and a few balls that he knows probably should drop in there. Remember, the senior Mulvihill in his first year starting for Glenbrook North. Empty set. Same pass attempt right. This one also high, and it's ruled incomplete, a forward pass.
Can't decide how I feel about that. If at first you don't succeed, try it again until it works.
They tried it with a different receiver this time. Juan Signs out there to try to make the play. And it was another high pass and another drop football. They're technically drops because it hits the hands, but when you make a receiver jump on a swing pass, you can't blame it on the wideout.
Well, and he's not going to go downfield even if he catches it.
Third down and 10. Line to gain the 29.
Going
Old Hill
backwards again.
sprinting into his own end zone.
Flag.
And fires it out of bounds. Had an intended receiver on the play. Tarek Taha was the intended target, so no grounding. And it's
They got
4th down and 10.
Flag on the play. Let's see how they sort this out.
Pass on the play is incomplete. There is a penalty marker on the field.
Penalty marker came from the near line judge. It was holding against Glenbrook North. It'll be declined.
Glenbrook North is going to have to punt, otherwise they're giving the ball up in their own territory.
Yeah, and they'll be forced to punt. Hope not done yet, though, for the Spartans. But that was a small glimpse of light that poked into the tunnel that's now disappeared, and they'll have to...
Well, and half a quarter gone, too.
They'll have to try to keep digging to get some more hope as this punt goes right out of bounds. And little extracurriculars, there was no whistle on the play.
I never want to say anything bad about a team, but I do think that maybe Glenbrook should go raid the soccer team.
As that punt, not very effective. And great starting field position again for the Shamrocks. They've only had the ball kicked off to them one time, and that was their worst field position of the day. Every other time they have started inside of Spartans territory, including the first 3 drives, which is the reason they got a 13-0 lead to begin with in this game. They've used that field position to put a chokehold on the game. Young hands off, Wozni up the middle. Broke through a few tackles, continues inside the 15. Won't stop, inside the 10 to the 5. Trevor Wozni. And the Shamrocks are still rolling. Denied on 4th down on their last drive. They're back to a goal-to-go situation. If you're Coach Guerra and the Shamrocks, a touchdown here makes you awfully comfortable, Bob.
Awfully comfortable is an understatement at this point. Middle of the 3rd quarter, down by a 4th score.
Young, the man under center. Wozni, the deep running back. The handoff goes Wozni. Tries to poke his way. Reaches and scores. Touchdown, Shamrocks. Trevor Wozni falling into the end zone. His first touchdown of the day. And it's 25-0 St. Patrick pending the extra point.
Now let's see if they kick it this time. Last time they went for 2 to try to get it to be an even 21 in football terms. Now they're just going to kick it to get to 26 if they can.
And as the sky darkens, the hope for the Spartans darkens as well.
Wow, that's pretty profound and prophetic. And it blocked.
That ball tipped at the line, out of bounds, incomplete. You know, I got a few creative writing paragraphs stuck on my computer at home.
But how true it is, right? It's getting dark, and getting dark for Glenbrook North. Down by 25 points.
25-0 to score. In the Spartans' offense, early it felt like they could move, but were stopping themselves with penalties. Then they fall into a hole, are forced to pass a lot more, and it kind of played right into St. Patrick's hands. It just felt like the early portions of this game pushed Glenbrook North out of what would have brought them success today. Yeah. And once you get so far down that road, there's no going back.
Yeah, it looks like 4 scores might be pretty insurmountable. But if I were Glenbrook North, I still wouldn't give up the fact that you can still win this game. But I think the way that you have to win this game is run the ball, left, right, get big chunks of yardage, stop the passing game, don't pass it behind the line anymore. And if you don't trust your quarterback, all the better to keep it on the ground. Smash mouth football, at least get 1 score. You know, first get a first down, then another first down, get a touchdown. There is time.
Big collection of Glenbrook North parents working their way around the field. Maybe take a different angle, head to the concession stand. As a kickoff return brought out across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
I like that kickoff, though. It was a deep kickoff. The run went about 20 yards right up the middle.
Jack Philbin on the return that time. And now the Spartans offense once again Mulvihill in shotgun. Will fake the handoff and keep himself. Slips out of a tackle at his ankles. Takes a big hit at the 30 where he stood up for a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, it turned that into a decent gain.
Nice job from Murphy Mulvihill. He looks athletic. It just looks like he needs a few more games at the quarterback position. A couple of the nuances of it all, and St. Patrick's done such a great job. Remember, we talked to Jaden Griffin at halftime. He's a big, imposing defensive lineman that could end up being a college football player. And he's not even playing today for St. Patrick. Quick throw caught by Henschel. Henschel runs over a man and powers forward for a first down, and the chains move for the Spartans. Just love to see Glenbrook North here at the end of the quarter. From a neutral observation perspective, would love to see them produce a touchdown drive to at least force St. Patrick to operate normally on offense next time around. Because if St. Patrick can get a stop here, they're going to be in not just bleed the clock, but heavily bleed the clock mode.
That's the good thing about being objective. We can hope for both teams.
Man in motion, Henschel. Sweep goes to Henschel. And he tried to cut back right up the middle of the field. He's slung down by the leg. A 4-yard or 3-yard gain on first brings up 2nd and 7. Yeah, and when we talked to Matt Purdy before the game, he mentioned the inexperience of his own Glenbrook North squad, and that's shown at points tonight. But you do see the talent and the athleticism flash as well. It doesn't feel like it's a 25-0 game. Feels more like a 17-7 or a 21-7. See if the Spartans can get something they deserve out of this one. Mulvihill right up the middle for just a yard, and it's 3rd down and 6. And that's what's funny about sports is, and we're seeing a lot more stats, advanced stats really represent that in the sport of soccer or football or anything. There's expected win-loss or expected goals or expected points, and then there's what actually happens on the field. and that's the amazing thing about analytics. The more information we get, we can actually put a number on that saying that broadcasters had, boy, this doesn't feel like a 25-0 game. You can actually put numbers on it if you go advance. Mulvihill fires deep downfield, adjusting for the ball. Unable to make the catch is Henschel.
Definitely an underthrown ball.
And it was hand fighting by the senior and captain Ryan Henschel, but he was unable to go up and grab it.
This is broken up on the play by number 3, Isaiah Smith.
And it's 4th down.
Brings up 4th down and
6 to go.
6 yards to go for the Spartans. But just outside their own 46-yard line.
And the Spartans are going to punt. Down 4 scores. An NFL 4th quarter remaining. 15 minutes and 23 seconds left in this game.
There's a good punt.
Coming up to field it, Fuller, and he's going to be stopped by, looked like the front half of his body wanted to keep going forward, but he had 2 Spartans grabbing each leg, and he stopped like he hit the anti-lock brake system in a car. 3:14 left, quarter number 3.
Number 40, Liam Crotty. Shamrocks will take over first down, 10 yards to go.
Did you know only 4% of federal government cancer research funding goes to study pediatric cancer? Help Cal's Angels and children like Paige by volunteering, donating, or spreading awareness. And that's a good reminder for our Cal's Angels of 50/50, because this month is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and Shamrock Athletics will be wearing gold to spread awareness and support Brandon Dix and his daughter Paige, who was diagnosed with leukemia on Easter Sunday. As we'll pause for the play, a young dump out pass to Fuller. Fuller looking for room to run left sideline, slips a tackle, and is pushed out of bounds inside of Spartans territory. It's Jack Fuller with a big gain on first down. All proceeds from this 50/50 raffle of Cal's Angels and the Yellow Ribbon T-shirt sales will be donated to Cal's Angels, a pediatric cancer foundation with a mission of granting wishes, raising awareness, and funding research to help kids fight cancer.
And this ball is coming back somehow.
Whole
Illegal blocking, right?
That time they will move the ball back to the Shamrock 25-yard line. Brings up first down and 15 yards to go from there.
Jermaine Young will be in the shotgun. It's 25-0 St. Patrick. Shamrocks at their home field here at Triton College.
Well, as long as it feels like a 17-7 game, we shouldn't say the score, right?
No. As Wozni dives forward for a first down. Well, if you care about the United States men's soccer team at all, they played a 0-0 tie where their expected goals was 2.
So Las Vegas made some money on that one?
I'm sure they did. They usually do.
6 yards on the play, brings up
No matter where on the ledger you bet.
for the Shamrocks at their own.
It's second down and 9 here. Now the score on the scoreboard is the only one that matters. And St. Patrick has the football and a 25-point lead. Young under pressure, steps up in a muddied pocket and is going to be brought down. Nice sack on the play by the entire Spartans defense. Is going to get credit for that one as they collapse that pocket. But this is another reason why you step up in the pocket. Only a 4 or 5 yard loss on a sack. If you sprint backwards to try to make something magical happen, it's just bad news. You know, that was that Archie Manning stuff that used to work in the 70s. That don't work much longer. You can't run backwards all the way down the football field side to side and expect something good to happen. So good by Jermaine Young to keep this a manageable 3rd down and 16 by taking an efficient sack. Young to pass again. Fires deep left sideline over the extended hands of Ceseno, the intended target. Incomplete and 4th down.
I like taking the shot, though, on 3rd and long. We just picked out the raffle ticket. We'll find out who wins. Good job, Jan.
Yeah. All $5 for Cal's Angels raffle, please.
I think they already picked out the winner, though.
All 5, please. As I'm just doing the 50-50 raffle that we've been talking about here, Bob. Remember, this month is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and Shamrock Athletics will be wearing gold to spread awareness and support Brandon Dix and his daughter Paige, who was diagnosed with leukemia on Easter Sunday. All proceeds from this 50-50 raffle that I'm currently taking a part of and the Yellow Ribbon T-shirt sales will be donated to Cal's Angels, a pediatric cancer foundation with a mission of granting wishes, raising awareness, and funding research to help kids fight cancer. 46 children a day in this country are expected to be diagnosed with cancer, and if we can eliminate that scourge from our society, it would be probably the biggest humanitarian achievement in history. So any donation towards that cause is a valiant one. You know, 10 million people a year total diagnosed. Actually, it's more than 10 million diagnosed. On the run, sidearm throw from Mulvihill is incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Number 22, McCartney Kalmar is incomplete. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
Minute 2 left, 3rd quarter. St. Pat up 25-0. And the Spartans still trying to make something happen on offense.
Well, at least they got the ball back that time. St. Patrick's didn't take it all the way downfield, and they do have the ball at midfield, not at their own 1 yard line or something. So
yeah, you got to give credit to the Spartans' defense. They've stood tall in moments this could be a lot worse. Mulvihill pulls the ball on the run, sidearm toss, and blown up on the play is the intended target and receiver, McCartney Kalmar. Jack Fuller on the hit. In a good, clean, legal, mean hit.
The fans clearly liked that one.
Well, you know, with player safety coming into the forefront as it should have over the last decade, you know, sometimes you might miss that this used to be a large part of football, which is the Titanic hits. But a reminder there by Jack Fuller, you can make a Titanic hit and not endanger player safety.
Yeah, and make it legal at the same time.
Great hit from Fuller. 3rd down and long. Under pressure, Mulvihill. Doing his best Archie Manning impression. He's pointing, he's looking, he's throwing. And it's caught. 1st down this time for the Spartans.
He did everything you're not supposed to do, right? Go back and then threw across his body back in the middle, but it sure worked, and you got the 1st down.
Just like Archie Manning on the Saints.
So we're at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Tarek Taha with the 1st down brings us to the end of quarter number 3. 12 minutes remaining in this one. Shamrocks 25, Spartans nothing. You're watching high school football on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I knew that. That means the first person got robbed. But nobody will know.
Oh, boy, here we go.
But which Jan got to pick the winning ticket.
What could I win?
Good luck. All right, we're on a commercial here. Did you win?
No.
Yeah. How much did you win?
It was a good couple hundred, but the thing is, you give it back because it's.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I put my entry up and then I give it.
Read another.
So this is that same commercial I ran at the end of the 1st quarter. A minute and a half, it's not enough time, so I have to run minute-long commercials instead of minute and a half. But this is their commercial, so I'm going to fade out and bring you back in.
As they just did the 50-50 raffle, no, I was not a winner, if anybody was curious.
But you gave it a gallant try with $5, I think.
Well, I just gave what I had on my wallet. Kind of let fate decide that one for me.
So somebody won about, what, $350, they said?
Yep, that means $330 donated to Cal's Angels on the 50-50 raffle tonight. Also, all proceeds from the T-shirt sales here at Triton College heading to that fantastic cause. A couple other notes from St. Patrick. Current 8th grade boys interested in spending a day at the high school should register for a shadow day right away. Register online at stpatrick.org/shadow days. Come see for yourself all that St. Patrick has to offer. And I recommend that because it'll be less scary on day one. It's kind of like studying film. Mulvihill, plenty of time. Most time he's had all game. Eyes downfield. Makes the throw, and it's complete. Henschel used the sideline to make the catch near the 25, a 1st down for the Spartans.
That was a great catch. Both feet right inside the sideline. Reached, stretched, made the catch.
Only need the one, but making it 2 is a way to keep it safe. And make sure that the official at least sees one of them in. Here in the 4th quarter, here at Triton College on Sports Broadcast Solutions, Bob to my right, Bob Vilsaway. You got a tough last name, my friend.
Oh, that's how I know if people know me or not. If they can pronounce it, I know that they know me. And if they can't pronounce it, well, it's probably one of those robocalls.
Oh, how did the robocall say it?
Oh, gosh.
Please give me an attempt.
Villaset, Vilsot, let's see. I'm not sure. Anything.
Vilsalabe.
Right. King of Sabi.
$11:41 left in this ball game. It's been all St. Patrick. Spartans trying to look for their first score. Murphy Mulvihill, the quarterback, senior, on the run and brought down for a sack. Hey, he might have got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. Alex Govorowski in on the tackle. Haven't called his name much in the 2nd half, but he starred certainly in half number 1. A rushing touchdown and an interception from the running back lineback combo. Mulvihill rolling left, cuts back right. Eyes downfield, everybody covered, fires into a big gang of players, about an even number of green and white jerseys. and it's incomplete.
Yeah, you get the feeling that it was probably an ill-advised throw again. Just everybody was covered, throw it away, throw it somewhere else, not into a crowd. That ball got deflected a couple of times and could have been picked up by the other team.
Well, and you can just tell that the Spartans need a little more fine-tuning on that offensively. When that quarterback gets out of the original plan, you've just got to go find space. I mean, it's not about staying on your same route path or anything. You want to find space, and space towards your quarterback, and just look like nothing available there for Mulvihill. Man in motion, Philbin. Big time pressure, had no outlet, and he's going to be sacked. Gaborowski on the hot pursuit. In a smart play, actually, from Mulvihill, the only thing that would have happened, unless he was able to get it past the original line of scrimmage, would have been an intentional grounding had he just tossed that thing out of bounds. No receivers in the area.
Well, he needed to throw that ball, but he was running toward his left. It's hard to turn back to your right and throw.
Fourth down and a mile.
Yeah, this if I could type in a mile instead of type in 21, I would.
Whole 63 feet. I'm glad it's 4th and 21. 4th and 63 would be annoying.
It's certainly 4th in the country mile.
Mulvihill had a man, didn't throw it immediately, and then tosses it out of bounds, looking for Henschel. And a turnover on downs will give the football back to St. Patrick, up 25-0. And if you're St. Patrick, if I'm Adam Guerra, I'm just trying to get out of here healthy now. You got an ability to churn out first downs on the ground with a collection of backs. I want them both to stay fresh. I would probably keep my quarterback, Jermaine Young, out of the fray unless you really need him in terms of running the football. I'd also wouldn't have him drop back to pass too often.
This absolutely is the time to play the second string, third string, whatever you need to. You've got a very big cushion if something were to happen. Although pride of a shutout.
Handoff goes to Wozni. Keeps bouncing outside, and he's cut down at the knees. Jack Philbin on the tackle. Philbin has been everywhere today. If you want to give an MVP for the Spartans tonight, it has been Jack Philbin. He's made a catch today. He's been all over the place on defense. He's been a hunter. Line to gain the 46 for the Shamrocks. 2nd down and 10. If results hold here, both these teams will move to a 1-1 record. St. Patrick up from 0-1. And the Spartans of Glenbrook North down from 1-0. Handoff Wozni just for a couple yards. Brings up 3rd down and 8.
The stop for the Spartans, number 63, Nathan Weisler. We have 2 yards on the play, brings up 3rd down and 8 yards to go for the Shamrocks from their own 30.
And boy, this is kind of rare for what we've been seeing around the Chicago area recently in terms of this type of cloud coverage with no precipitation.
Yeah, this is gorgeous weather right now.
It feels like every time the clouds have looked like this, we've been getting dumped on recently.
Couldn't be better for football. It's not too hot.
Yeah. And you just got to remember, eventually, snow will come out of there. Young throwing deep downfield. It's going to be a penalty. Yep. Cesano earns the flag as the defender guarding him. Graham Gottschalk was not looking at the football and had his hands engaged in the chest. Didn't give Cesano the chance to come back to the football in an easy pass interference call.
And the key there was a very catchable ball. That he had some yards behind it, I guess you'd have to say. I thought for sure that was going to be underthrown.
And unfortunately, we're at the high school level, so that pass interference won't be the spot of the foul. What do you think of that rule, Bob? What do you think, spot of the foul or 15 yards?
It reminds me of a penalty kick in soccer. It's too much of a penalty to get the ball where the spot of the foul occurred. I like the 10 or 15-yard penalty, pro or college rules, high school.
See, but the reason I don't like only a 15-yard penalty is because you're going to have DBs on every deep ball just yanking the guy down if they feel like they're beat. And the NFL guys are smart enough. I feel like it would just happen too much. Young, nice easy toss out. Jack Fuller gets the feet rolling upfield quickly. Fuller inside the 35, keeps going, and is brought down there. But then I also hate a 51-yard penalty.
Yeah. It just feels like it's too big of a penalty. But you're right. The defensive backs are going to be smart when they get beat. Drag the guy down. Losing 10 or 15 yards is far better than a touchdown.
And you can't, by no means, can you give any subjective ability to the officials in terms of, that would have been a touchdown or whatever.
Right, the intent should not be in a rule book. Yeah. Unfortunately, I believe the intent is in the rule book way too many times and way too often, but I'm with you. It has to be a cut and dried, black and white kind of a situation where the referee has to make a call. You can't determine a player's intent. If somebody has a good acting classes when they were in high school, their intent could be hidden.
Yeah, and the slower these cameras get, I mean, we are looking at a world where there's going to be replay in high school football
Won't be
before
long.
2035, I guarantee it. As that pass, pitched and caught, first catch of the day for Jack Dolger. Under 8 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. You want to make sure you stay with us here at Sports Broadcast Solutions after the game. Liam and I will be running down to the field to grab an interview for you. So you want to sit through the commercials and maybe some stand-up comedy from Bob.
No, we won't be doing that for sure.
No stand-up comedy?
We'll run a couple of commercials, maybe a video while you go down and get those interviews. Then we'll, as soon as you get them, we'll take them out of the camera, put them on the computer, and play them back for you.
So no airline humor from Bob Vilsaway. Unfortunate.
Yeah, then that would be the fastest way to get you guys to stop watching the broadcast.
A little bobble on the exchange, but a nice job to handle it and push forward. A penalty marker coming out late as Wozni pushed the pile forward. And it's going to be a personal foul on St. Patrick. We'll see if it was after the play. I believe it was. So the down will count.
And again, the coach talking to the referee about it. About, 6 or 8 yards onto the field to have that discussion.
Well, Adam Guerra's been hot all game, even after they took a 19-point lead.
Yeah, there's an injury on the field, too. Maybe that was the cause of it. I didn't see the infraction.
And the players will hit the knees as the players attended to. We'll go ahead and step aside for about a minute here as the injured player attended to. 25-0 St. Patrick in the lead. You're watching high school football on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
Yeah. We'll put the 54-second commercial in.
Sounds good.
I thought you were like broken bone, not take a break.
No, take a break.
Right.
I had one guy give me this.
What's that?
C for commercial.
Oh.
But he's just looking at me like this, and I'm like,
what's that? Right. Actually, but once you talk about it and you know what it is, that works.
yeah, but like this is just for me.
Yeah.
So like,
It's natural.
it's natural. It's very distinctive.
Right.
Like if we were on opposite sides of the stadium, I could do
Yeah,
this,
you could do that. Right.
and we would know it's break.
All right, let's see. Which commercial did I run? SBS. That one. We got 11 seconds.
That penalty moves the ball back to the Shamrock 30.
All right, Mike is on, right?
25-0, St. Patrick in the lead with the football following a personal foul penalty. It'll be second down and very long for St. Patrick. I'm Lukas Moore. To my right, Bob Vilsaway. Liam on the camera. Forgot his last name again, Bob. Liam, I owe you $2 if I forget your last name again.
Liam Crotty.
Young, line drive over the middle, incomplete, just in front of the intended target, Cesena. See, the trick to that is I just won't try to say it anymore.
That's right. Just call him Liam.
Just, hey, Liam.
Hopefully he's doing a good job.
We got to give big thanks to Liam. It's actually my first time broadcasting a high school football game in the state of Illinois. So Liam, a lot more knowledge, just natural knowledge about the state and the region. Give thanks to him for making sure anything that I researched was correct / adding to our knowledge portfolio to be able to do this broadcast. I want to thank both sets of coaches for being so gracious with the interviews on the field as well. Young under pressure, steps up in the pocket, fires on the run. It's short and intercepted. Brought down by Dylan Weiss. Weiss headed the other way before he's brought down. No, not brought down. Keeps going to the 45 before he's finally actually brought down there inside of Shamrock's territory.
Yeah, that was underthrown. The defensive back is right there to make the catch. Made a nice run back about, 15 yards after the catch?
So hard to make that throw down the field moving to your left when you're a right-handed quarterback.
That's right, too. Well, that's why it got underthrown. So 7:19 to go.
You got to almost get aerial to square your body up.
Now we got to see if Glenbrook North stays in the air for the rest of the game.
They've been in the air quite a bit. Murphy Mulvihill, the quarterback. They'll fake the handoff to the man in motion, then give it to Jack Philbin. Philbin around the left sideline. He's going to have the first down. Try to cut it back up the numbers if it is brought down. But the chains move.
Yeah, that was a good run. I like the misdirection again. The fake to the right, run to the left.
My eyes told me Jack Philbin on the carry.
Glenbrook North thinking at least get one score.
Check that. It was Reese Marquez on that last carry. Is Gorowski almost brought him down for a sack, but it's incomplete. Patrick Shuttler was the intended target on the play. 6:49 left to go, quarter four. Boy, it's real different, a game with incomplete passes compared to a game with running the football.
Yeah, it's a good point. The clock stops.
And it also, it not only just changes the way the clock moves, it kind of changes the rhythm and the play of speed on the field. I mean, it just feels like when you're in a grinded-out running game, you see a lot more hands on hips. As Mulvihill will keep it himself up the middle, close to the 26-yard line. Last night, I found myself at a game that had less than 10 pass attempts, and neither team made it to the red zone until 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. We've had a lot more action back and forth on this mid-afternoon, bleeding into evening matchup between the Spartans of Glenbrook North and the Shamrocks of St. Patrick. And quick toss from Mulvihill. Did he get the first? He did.
Completed.
Found Henschel wide open just past the marker.
It's a good timing play.
Hit the deck to ensure that he made the catch, and it's 1st and 10. And if you're the Spartans and Coach Purdy, you just want to score. And you're not even doing the math about a comeback or anything like that. Maybe that's in the cards. Maybe something can happen there, but you need something special. But what they want for this team with a lot of youth is to gain some confidence as they fake the handoff Marquez. Stepping through, a sack, and keeping his eyes downfield, Mulvihill, and he tosses it out of bounds.
Well, and similarly on defense, St. Pat is fighting like crazy to keep the shutout intact. So even though it is a 25-0 game, it has a feel of a 7-0 game, or like you said earlier, a 17-7 game. Both teams are trying. Nobody's giving up. Glenbrook North is trying to get that one score to erase the shutout and then build on momentum. The rest of this game probably won't work, but maybe next week.
It's also easier for these teams to go a little harder, a little longer, because it's not 95 degrees with 90% humidity. I mean, it's actually decent weather to play football. 2nd down and 10. Mulvihill pump fake, takes off, quarterback draw. He's inside the 15. Tries to angle left, pushes towards the 5. Before a whole 4-leaf clover of Shamrocks brings him down.
Gets another first, though. Well designed to play.
stop for the Shamrocks.
Over halfway done
Number 88
in this fourth quarter.
Lions. That game is good enough for a Spartan first down.
First down and goal, the first goal to go situation and the first red zone situation for the Spartans tonight. Can Glenbrook North change that 0 that's been sitting on their side of the scoreboard since we began tonight? Man in motion, Philbin. Handoff goes Marquez up the middle, who's brought down chest high across the 5-yard line.
Carrying the ball for the Spartans, number 6, Lukas Marquez. In on the snap again for the Shamrocks, number 44, Alex Gaborowski.
You can tell by the pride on both teams that Glenbrook wants to get this score and St. Pat's wants to stop this score no matter what the score in the game is.
From the Shamrock 5-yard line.
And for the Spartans, they could open up a hole. Mulvihill on the run. He's going to try to take it himself. Stuffed up and stopped short. Alex Gaborowski with the big play at the goal line. And it's third down and goal for Glenbrook North.
Alex Gaborowski on the stop for the Shamrocks.
25-0 St. Patrick.
On the play. Brings up third down and goal to go.
2 touchdowns from Jermaine Young. 1 passing, 1 rushing. A rushing touchdown from Alex Gaborowski, who's been involved all over the place. He was just involved on that tackle. And a rushing touchdown from Wozni as well. Those are the scores today. None of those scores have come from Glenbrook North. They'll try to change that on third and goal. Man in motion, Philbin. They give Philbin. Philbin in for 6. And the Spartans won't walk out of this stadium scoreless. And if you want to talk about comebacks, a small, tiny hole perhaps open for Glenbrook North on that play. But at the very least, Bob, some pride heading home in a game that just they haven't got any bounces. They've been beat at the point of attack. But you collect yourself and you find a way to put together a nice drive here in the fourth quarter.
And something to build on, and then the coach can come back, and if we can just clear up these penalties, we've proven we can move the ball against these guys, and if we can move the ball against these guys, probably can move the ball against anybody, just stop at the penalties. So, yeah, this touchdown is more than just pride. It's proving to themselves that they can do it.
They're going to go for 2. This would make it a 17-point game, has no outcome on whether it's 3 scores or 2. Was trying for his little extra, Gaborowski.
Is this when you say not even close?
An absolute dominant defensive performance from that man, Alex Gaborowski. Nearly caused a goal line stand before Philbin ended up going away from Gaborowski and scoring a touchdown. But that time, no hiding from the big-time linebacker who makes a big-time play.
But like you said, too, that play had probably no input into the outcome of the final score. Well, to the final score, but not of how the game was being played. But it just didn't go the right way. You can't go backwards.
And once he's locked in on his target, he is like a heat-seeking missile. Is Alex Gaborowski? I mean, just eyes on, and he is just going after it.
I'd like to see Glenbrook North just run a lot more. Use the offensive line, get downfield, make more play-action passes, not pass out of the shotgun. I think Glenbrook North has the athletes to do it. Of course, it's easy for me to say from up here.
Well, Bob, you've been saying it all. That was their most run-heavy drive, and it's the only drive that's come away with points tonight. Spartans kick it away to the Shamrocks. It'll be an onside kick. Has to go 10 yards. And picking it up and trying to go the other way was Nick Armenta, one of the leading linebackers for the Shamrocks. Onside kick recovery for a touchdown, one of my favorite plays in football.
Yes, that would be. I don't know if he had the speed to do it, but he sure had the right idea. And it was a clean pickup, too. Lots of times coaches will say, just fall on the ball, but he picked it up while he was moving. Nice athletic play.
Al, you don't get so worried about the fundamentals 25-6 lead either. You just try to make something happen.
Plus, when you see nothing but green in front of you and the football on the ground.
You get tempted.
Well, it was a good try by Glenbrook North, though. Again, I like the attempt.
It's a good onside kick.
Yep, yeah.
I mean, both their onside kicks today have been quality attempts. That one just didn't make it the 10 yards it needed to go. St. Patrick handing the football off on first down as they'll try to bleed this game out and maybe add to their 25-6 lead. They're going to add to their win total if results hold, as the Shamrocks staring at a 1-1 record now. Jermaine Young.
The Shamrocks could probably run this game and the clock down without scoring a touchdown if they get the right number of first downs without scoring. I think we'll probably see a knee before this game's over.
Young in the shotgun. Jermaine Young, the star quarterback, still in the game. Handoff goes Wozni. Wozni weaving his way through. Looked like a needle through thread as he picks up the first down.
He's going to make it hard to get another first down without scoring.
So in, so out. So in, so out. And now we have a quilt. First and 10 at the 15. Clock is rolling, 2:55 and counting. Young in the shotgun, going to wait for the signal from the back judge, who's now counting down. Snap off, handoff Wozni, slipped in the backfield, didn't stop his forward progress, though, as he gets inside the 10.
Same thing as before. You can just see the pride in St. Pat. They want to score another touchdown. They are working hard to get there.
And they'll be facing a second down and 4. Inside the 10 again, St. Patrick. It's been all St. Patrick. This game was 13-0 with 54 seconds left in quarter number 1. And St. Patrick hadn't only run one play inside their own territory. And that's kind of been the story of the game. Handoff, Wozni. A shimmy, a shake in the backfield. Fighting, leaning, short. Stopped at the 1. They want that second touchdown for Trevor Wozni. The 5'9", 165-pound junior.
I remember last time in this situation, they just did a quarterback dive up the middle.
I don't know. I wouldn't do a quarterback dive.
Not with Young?
Not with Young, not up 25-6 with under a minute and a half to go.
Well, they sure have a full back field. Are they just going to run the clock? Knee?
They'll hand off Wozni, and he walks into the end zone. Easiest touchdown of the day for St. Patrick. Might be the final one. As Trevor Wozni has found 6 twice.
Well, they fought hard for that touchdown. It would have been kind of sad to see him take a knee, at least earn the touchdown.
31-6 pending the extra point. Jermaine Young will be on to put his toe through the football. Snap back, hold down, kick up, and good. 32-6. And a flag running into the kicker. So that's going to be a little extra on the kickoff.
So a 32-6 game, but Glenbrook North gets the ball back with 1:10. Let's see, run it, 2 plays, the game's over, or try to have like a 2-minute warning with 1:10 to go on the clock.
I run.
Yeah, down 26 points. I think I would practice my 2-minute offense. That's what I would do if it were me.
Well, what we got to remember is Glenbrook North is in a brutal conference. Their schedule's not going to get any easier as the season goes along. And I understand all the things. I understand pride. I understand momentum. But I've never bought into that in a week-to-week sport. I get if you're playing every day or even like 3 times a week like in basketball, you leave your starters in down 20. Why? You got to play in 2 days from now and you don't have a practice in between. Just sometimes in the sport of football, that week-to-week momentum I don't buy into too much.
Right.
Your momentum is built in practice. That's kind of the design of football.
Yeah, so many different coaching styles. Let's see what Glenbrook North does. Deep kick.
Handled well off a high bounce for the Spartans. And brought down to the 13 is the returner, and that's where Glenbrook North will start their next drive. Well, yeah, I mean, we look at how every NFL coach has handled the preseason. The Rams didn't play a single offensive starter, and they've got a new quarterback on. While Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs ran over 50 snaps in a preseason game.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, those two teams, which one needs preseason snaps, you would think Matthew Stafford and the Rams, not the three-time AFC Championship participant Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, you could not have picked a better example than that to show the two different kind of contrasting coaching styles, and the rest of the coaches are probably somewhere else in between. So Glenbrook North chose to run it.
Handoff, first carry of the day this time from
Did not
Timmy
get out of bounds.
Weinzimmer. Did not get out of bounds. The clock will roll, but does get the first down. Well, and we saw some people handle injuries with their players different in the NFL, and it's just, I think there's a million ways to coach this sport because it's such a complicated and complex sport, and that's why it's become so attractive to the American populace, because this sport people learn as kids doesn't get more boring as you age.
Right.
You just find out more about it.
And that's besides the gladiator nature of the game.
Yeah, that's taking all the macho stuff out of it. Handoff, Weinzimmer again, getting close to the first down marker.
Flag.
And he throws a flag with 18 seconds in the game. And boy, what an important holding call. And I'll hold my tongue. 32-6, clock stopped at 18 seconds because of an offensive holding.
So the ball's getting pushed all the way back to the 22.
And the Spartans, the Shamrocks rather, starting to celebrate. And the I believe that we will win chant starting. No, they'll start defense. I thought I believe was coming.
Yeah, they're just going to let the clock run. That was the two running plays, a holding call, and it's over.
And that's the game. To 1-1 go the Shamrocks. Also to 1-1 go the Spartans. St. Patrick victorious, 32-6. We're going to run down to the field. Liam and I will have a couple interviews for you in the postgame. Make sure you stay tuned for that. 32-6.